Welcome to the Sustainable Jungle Podcast. I'm Joy, and today we're exploring the inspiring story of 8000Kicks, a Portuguese footwear brand that's turning heads with its innovative use of hemp and low-impact materials. Founded by Bernardo Carreira and his grandmother, a textile expert, 8000Kicks is loved by its customers for its commitment to sustainability, ethical production, and high-quality design. They're also now one of our top-rated brands. In this episode, we'll dive into Bernardo's personal journey, the story behind the brand, and the challenges and joys of scaling a mission-driven company. And also, as a reminder, we'll soon be launching our members-only space where you'll find extended conversations like the bonus segment from this interview, along with other extras. Stay tuned for more on that, or register your interest via the link in the show description. Let's get started. Bernardo, welcome to the show. To get us started, could you share a bit more about you? Where were you born and where did you grow up?
Thank you so much. Pleasure to be here. So I'm Bernardo. I'm from Portugal. I grew up in a small town here, where I am actually. And so cheers to Australia and to the world.
And I understand that the idea for 8000Kicks came from a late night conversation with friends and a collaboration with your grandmother. Can you share that amazing founding story?
It's a funny story. So it was like a 5 a.m. idea. I was with some friends down, drinking some beers, like just a casual night out, playing some games. Someone came up with this idea of making a cannabis shoe, which is the most ridiculous idea ever. That's right. But it was funny. And back then I just moved out of London. I was in Portugal looking for new ideas, new projects, new stuff that I could help. And this friend challenged me, Bernardo, you're looking for projects. Why don't you build a cannabis shoe? And we were like, ha, 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 ha. But then I was sticking with the idea. This actually could work. It would be like a funny idea to launch in the US. I know Americans are crazy about their weed. So we're like, we could test it out, see how it goes, just as a joke. So I turned out to my grandma. I asked her for some help. But why my grandma? Sounds very weird, but she has over 50 years experience in textiles. Wow. Initially she was like she was very conservative, like very close to this idea, right? She was obviously IEDK, to be on drugs, stay away from these things. And then I was just buying some fabric, some canvas from some suppliers. Actually, the first supplier we got was a French company. We got the fabric from them. And then I showed it to my grandma and she was quite impressed. Actually, the fabric looks very good. The properties are very interesting and this has potential. Let's try it out. And then I was contacting factories. We were starting to build samples. It was a very, very side gig, right? It was like, whatever happens. But suddenly we launched this on Kickstarter. We got over 2,000 customers in just 2 months. And we were like, whoa, okay. I don't know how we're going to deliver this. I don't know how to make 2,000 shoes. We had like a scrappy, factory, and I just came to them and realized these guys, no way they're going to do 2,000 pairs. So we just had to upgrade to a new factory. So it was all the challenge of now we have to find a factory, try to find someone to build this. And we were like looking all around Portugal to try to build this. It's kind of scary a bit. You don't know what you're doing, but sometimes you somehow have to deliver it. The calculations in the end didn't add up. We screwed up. It's like all kind of stories, but we managed to deliver everything. And then there were problems with the production. It's just a crazy story, but we overcome all that and we're still here.
Oh yeah. And I remember when we first started featuring brands on Sustainable Jungle, it was called Dope Kicks. I remember featuring it back when it was, newly, freshly launched, and it was called Dope Kicks back then, which was really fun.
It was, it was called Dope Kicks, but we had a lot of problems with dope, especially online. Yeah. And we had to change it as well. Mm-hmm. And eventually we came up with 8000Kicks, which a lot of people ask with curiosity why 8,000. The thing is, no one forgets 8,000. Everyone with one less zero, one more zero. Everyone will put like 8 kicks, 80 kicks, whatever. But they will put 8,000 shoes, 8,080 hemp shoes. They can type whatever they want. They will still find us. And that's the beauty of this name.
That's genius. And, you know, 8's good luck, right? So that's probably a good thing too.
Yeah.
And now the brand's also sort of evolved to be kind of, well, focused on sustainability. So what initially sparked your interest in sustainability to the extent that you wanted to embed it in your everyday work at 8000 Kicks?
Yeah, I was vegan for 6 years.
Wow.
I was, I still, my everyday life is, for me, it's quite important to have sustainable practices, sustainable personal consumption. So for me, this is a big thing. And, when I start a company, it has to be sustainable by default, because I don't think anything should not be sustainable by default, right, these days. So when I started, I was focusing exactly on that. But this is, we stopped communicating, so much about sustainability, because for us, this is an absolute must. We have to communicate on everything else that makes the shoe great. Because my belief is, if everything is sustainable by default, which is still not, but, that's my way of seeing things. Let's communicate how amazing these shoes are and how amazing these backpacks are. While being sustainable by default, like, let's create amazing designs so that people have reasons to buy this product other than just being sustainable. You know what I mean? We have to make great products. Sustainability has to be by default, but we have to compete with the biggest players with sustainable materials. That's the way to win the market. Make better products, with sustainable materials.
I love that. And actually, I've got a question to cover that in more detail, actually, because it's something that we picked up in our brand rating. But before we get there, we should probably let listeners know a little bit more about 8000 Kicks. So for those listening for the first time who don't know what 8000 Kicks is, could you give us a quick overview of the brand? What products do you make? What is your core mission? And where do you operate? Sure.
So we are a hemp shoe and hemp backpack company. Everything we make is made from hemp. And our core mission is to bring back this amazing fiber that was once banned. And we really believe this fiber has a lot of potential. It was once massively used, it was banned, and now our goal is to bring it back to the 21st century. And our proposal is very simple. This fabric was used for everything because the natural properties are amazing. It's the world's most durable natural fiber. Imagine what we could do if we apply the same technology, the same processes, the same modern machinery to a fiber that has better properties than everything else. And this is where we're going. We're starting to make shoes and backpacks that use the latest knitting technologies, the latest weaving technologies, and we're catching up very quickly to what normal shoes and normal backpacks are. So this is where we want to go, make very technologically advanced products with natural fibers. And we want to show it's possible to do it better products with natural fibers, such as hemp. Now, mostly mostly as hemp, but we only do hemp practically. Sometimes we do a little bit of cotton, but we're all about hemp. It's all gotta be hemp. And you sell to the US and Europe, obviously? Yeah, we manufacture in China and Portugal, and we supply from a lot of other countries too. But China mostly, because China has the supply chain in hemp that we need, and they also have the most knitting technology. Portugal as well, but not as much as China. Very interesting. Yeah. And I wanted to talk about our brand rating. So congratulations, you're a top-rated brand here at Sustainable Jungle. So I just wanted to highlight a few things from our brand rating. So obviously
firstly, so impressed by the innovative use of hemp, like we always have been, including creating the world's first waterproof hemp sneaker, which is quite an achievement. And also several other things that stood out, including your transparent approach to your supply chain, your focus on living wages, and the ongoing commitment to measuring carbon footprint, and numerous other things. But like we were just talking about before, one major standout from our review was the product performance, sort of the competing with the big brands of the world. So 8000Kicks scored really, really well on this point. So I wanted to ask you more about how you approach product design and how you deliver such strong positive reviews from customers.
I could say that I know a lot, but I don't. It's to be honest, I don't even know how to reply that question. What I do, basically my process is I travel a lot to find these good factories. I visit them. I send them samples of hemp. I ask them if they can do it. They say yes. We try. They fail. We try again. Sometimes they succeed. And then, we are basically try and error, I guess. And then we make the first production batch and there's still problems. And, fortunately we have a lot of customers that believe what we're doing and they know that we can fail because we're trying our best, but we'll never let them down and we give them a new product if the old one breaks. This has happened a lot in our company history. We have developed new products that are unique. Our customers complain like, hey, our hemp upper has broken, our soles have broken because we're trying things that never been done. So we can test like a lot in the lab, but nothing replaces thousands of people using the shoe every day in different environments. So we immediately get feedback. We go back to the lab, we iterate, we improve, we relaunch the product. So this happens a lot. And a lot of it is customers sharing their feedback, which we take very importantly for us. It's really, really important. A lot of times we have customers in Sweden, in the US, they complain that their shoes are breaking and we order them back to the lab, test them, understand what's going on. So it's basically that process, testing new things, launching faster, getting the product back into the warehouse. We're testing the shoe in the lab, testing the backpack in the lab. I mean, everyone fails. It's how you embrace failure that makes you stand out, I guess. Yeah.
And I've also noticed, chatting to you over the years, the approach to launching on Kickstarter so that you can test things out and try new things. You're always trying something new, which is really cool.
Yeah. It's cool. The beauty of Kickstarter is that they really believe what we do. It's like our 7th campaign. People are, they like what we do and a lot of people support us. A lot of people have had problems and we always compensate everyone. We sometimes get a bit late and people in Kickstarter are super, supportive, like, yeah, it's okay. Some not so much, but they still buy again. So I guess it's all this game of trying, working hard to make it happen. I guess it's paying off.
I saw your Instagram video the other day saying we're a small team, so sometimes we stuff up, but we will always make it work.
Yeah,
cool.
it's true. Like, we are very small in the warehouse. So imagine if someone, we have one person in the warehouse and, we are 3. Then we have some people that help on the side. But the thing is, one person misses out and the entire team is like, hey! Yeah, because sometimes it happens, right? And you're not ready for it. Especially sometimes if it's Monday. My colleague was off yesterday and we always, of course, we're ready, but we had to readjust the entire team to make sure, that our job was done. But, sometimes there is a bit delays, right? Like instead of shipping right away, we take one extra day to ship. So, and instead of replying in 24 hours, instead of replying, we always reply in 24 hours, but instead of replying in 12 hours, it took a little bit longer.
I mean, there's real people behind
Yeah,
there. It's
there's real
not a
people.
machine.
We're not machines.
Not a big conveyor belts doing it like at Amazon, right? It's real people sitting there doing it. So.
If on Amazon you're like a team of 5,000, one person misses out, no one's gonna notice. If you're 4 and one person misses out, you have 25% more workload.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So looking back at this journey, which has been obviously quite the ride, has there been a milestone or achievement at 8000 Kicks that you're especially proud of, like a moment that really stands out for you?
There were a couple. There was a moment we launched the first Kickstarter campaign, and we funded the campaign. For me, that was magic. 21st of May 2019.
Oh, wow. So a few years, it's almost just past the anniversary.
Yes. Oh, I think we didn't celebrate. Yeah. And then there was also a very special moment for me. There was, we had a lot of production problems. This was during COVID. We had no production. We had nothing. And then we got scammed by our factory partners. It was not very good. Yeah, it happens a lot. Crazy. It's a crazy story. We managed to find someone we were out of shoes for 6 months because they were scamming us and holding our materials. So it's very tragic story. And we were like next to bankrupt. We were deeply on the red. I managed to go back, take all my materials. We went to another factory, and we begged them for finishing our production. And they did. And I was like, I have zero money. I have minus so much in my account. This is absolutely, I don't even have money to pay this production. They did me a favor of finishing the production. I was like, I launched the website. I turned my back, and I went like just hoping for whatever happens. And this is the end. This was a very special day for me because in like 24 hours, we sold so much. We sold everything. And I was like, wow. And I was like, I think there was a sign, like a holy sign, like you can't quit, you have to continue. And people were waiting for shoes for so long, and we were like out of stock, and people were waiting, and I didn't realize. And we just launched like 500 shoes, and everything sold out. And we were like, I guess I'm in business again.
Yeah, that's wild.
It's crazy. There was one thing that I was doing. I was apologizing people every week and saying, guys, I'm struggling here. We got scammed by our factory. We had these problems. I was being honest to people. I guess the people were like, relating to me because I'm a young founder trying to get something going. And there was COVID. There was no access to materials. Logistics were complicated. And I was just being honest and sharing my newsletter with everything that I was doing. We just ordered the soles. We realized that our partner actually is holding our materials, so we're struggling a little bit. By the time we launched, everything was sold out because people related to the story and they wanted to support me. And I was like,
that's a warm and fuzzy feeling right there.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know if this is a curse or a blessing that I'm back into business. But here I am.
Amazing.
Crazy story.
That authenticity, I feel like that's something that you've always really brought strongly to your brand, which is that authenticity, and also the really strong community and family values type vibe that you put forward, that you embed into 8000 Kicks. I was reading during the rating that you also do things like stock options for employees, and then you have your grandmother in a leadership role. So it's clear that you have these values that are so authentic, so people, as you say, relate to them. But I wanted to ask you about how much you think about that. Like, how important are those values to your company culture, and how have they contributed to you as a founder and your success at 8000 Kicks?
Yeah. So in terms of stock options, I think that's important so everyone has a piece of the pie. it's not that we are a lot, so it's not like everyone. I mean, everyone has stock options because we are so few. But I think,
The four, right?
but for instance, our my grandma, also she, I mean, she has a lot of important opinions, but she's not like actively. She's 82 now, so she's busy taking care of the chicken, and she's busy taking care of her own things. She has like a small farm. So I always joke that she has chicken, but the thing is, she doesn't speak English, and she basically what she gives us is she comes to the warehouse, she gives us some help with videos. Sometimes she packs 1 or 2 pairs of shoes. She comes for a bit of a chit chat. She gives an opinion on the product. This is still very valuable. But she's mostly like, sharing feedback on products and helping do marketing videos, which is her new biggest skill.
I love those videos.
Yeah.
They're so good.
Yeah. It's her skill
Yeah.
is the videos, and sharing opinion on the products.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And thinking more broadly, and this is sort of like zooming out a little bit to think about holistically about the future of the fashion industry and the footwear industry and how they're going to evolve. How do you see them evolving as eco and climate awareness sort of hopefully continues to grow based on what you've learned through this process?
It's like I was saying earlier. I feel that there's always going to be innovation, and my job here is to show that it's possible to do better things with natural materials. And you're always going to see current like bigger brands innovating on design with new materials, and we have to be at the forefront of proving that natural materials do better than synthetic materials. Otherwise, we just gonna have like polyester forever as an innovation ground zero, right? And this is what we're trying to avoid. We also use recycled polyester, but because we can't do it with hemp, or because natural polyester is better at doing that job, or because hemp does not have elasticity and we have to mix it with polyester. But imagine if we could do almost a shoe that is like 100% hemp, including the soles, everything. There is already hemp leather, for instance, something that we're trying to innovate with. So, in my opinion, the future of fashion is somewhere around these molds. Is innovating with sustainable materials, so that we show that it's possible to do greater things with natural materials instead of just using plastic stuff all the time.
Is there any innovation around hemp that you're particularly excited about aside from the hemp leather? Or maybe the hemp leather is the big innovation.
Yeah, we're still playing a lot with hemp knits, which is something very unique that doesn't exist a lot. You're gonna have hemp knits. I think we're the first one to ever do it. There's starting to be, there's hemp knits for t-shirts, there's hemp knits for jerseys, but there's no hemp knits for shoes. And we're trying to innovate on that. We're very excited on new products that we're coming up on that. There's also this hemp leather that we're testing. Yeah, those are we are very excited about this new type of yarn that we're testing, that is thinner, and it will allow us to do a lot more things.
Very cool.
I think those are the biggest things.
The hemp knit, will that be like you could make the shoe that much more flexible? Is that the idea?
Exactly.
Right. Okay, cool.
It's exactly.
So kind of like the knitted sort of like recycled polyester shoes that you get, or the recycled nylon shoes that you get.
Yeah.
Sort of like kind of functionality.
Exactly. So, but that was the first model.
Right.
A lot of it still has a bit of polyester here and there for elasticity, but imagine if we could change it, redesign it, make it even better, make it more sustainable. But it's always possible to do better. But there's always a level of compromise that you have to do, in the sense of I have to make it elastic. Otherwise people will not like it not being elastic and they will not like the shoe. Right? And, that's an example. Another example is, for instance, the soles. We would like to do like more natural soles, but if we do, we have to compromise on cushioning. So, we like, how can we improve this to make it even better? And you know us, we always do our best, but how can we make it even, better? It's a never ending game, but you have to enter the game, start playing the game, and then you improve it slowly by slowly.
Yeah. That's all we can do, right? That's the best any of us can do is just keep
because
doing the best.
a lot of times coming up with new materials, it's not going to play well at first. It's a lot of iteration and testing until you make sure that it's actually working good. And it takes a lot of customer feedback. And this process takes a long time to actually innovate. And the most important is you start playing the game, come up with the models, test them, launch them, iterate them.
Makes sense. I was going to ask you about exciting projects or innovations that we can expect from 8000 Kicks. So obviously material innovation continues to be at the forefront of what you're doing. What about other things? Is there anything else, any new products that you're thinking about, or what's coming up?
We have a very exciting product coming this August.
Oh, yes. And you're not allowed to say yet?
I cannot say anything, but I can say it's a backpack.
Okay, a backpack. Okay, exciting.
For cyclists.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
so very niche.
Yeah, it's very, very cool. Everyone is very excited in the team, but I cannot share anything else.
I have one of your backpacks that I love, and I've used it for different stages of my life. Before I had a child, it was used for like my laptop and like used for packing, things to go away for the weekend or whatever. And then the baby came along and suddenly it became a nappy bag and it was like full of diapers. And then it became his school. Because I was doing reusable diapers. And he was the only kid at the local kinder, the little daycare, that had reusable diapers. So he had this backpack that was one of your ones that was like this big, this huge, enormous backpack, and all the other kids had these like little ones like this, and it was just stuffed full of diapers. And now that he's out of diapers, I'm like, I can reclaim the backpack and use it for other things. So maybe a diaper backpack in your future might be something to think about. Why not? Yeah, you never know. And I was going to ask you, there's a question that we ask all of our guests, which is more of a philosophical question. If you could have one piece of information or advice truly understood and heard and felt by every person on the planet instantly, like you just snap your fingers and they understand the message that you want to give them, what would that be?
I would say this was the best piece of advice that was given to me when I was about to give up a couple of times. It's not the end, it's the journey. It's a cliche, but I think when you fail so much, when the world is against you, when no one buys your product, you just have to stay positive and believe in yourself and just continue going, enjoying what you're doing and just gotta make it work. It's really a cliche, but I was really down at some points and I was like, success happens to people that never quit. So if we really believe in what we're doing, it's a matter of never giving up and just enjoying the process. And 40 years, 50 years, we're going to look back and see, I was really down that day. And then I make it work out. It was so fun. I wish I was there again.
What a journey. Yeah.
What a journey, right? I think that's the most beautiful thing, right? Just 50 years, look back and say, wow, that was the happiest days of my life. I was about to quit. I was happy and I didn't know. I was complaining because I was not selling enough. I was not doing as much as I would like to. As I was struggling. All my friends were going to the beach and traveling and enjoying themselves, and I was struggling in a warehouse full of products that I could sell. Yeah, I think it's all about this. It's a very important piece of advice.
I think that applies to so many things, not just entrepreneurship. It's a good life philosophy in general, I think.
Yeah.
A lot of people, when they answer that question, they talk about sort of a sustainability angle, sort of like what message would they try and convince other people of from a sustainability perspective? Would you have a different answer if coming at it from that angle?
I mean, I'm doing what I love. I'm helping the planet. I'm creating a new way of consuming, which is sustainable and hemp. So for me, sustainability I'm sustainable by default, right? And what I mean, I started this company with that conscious in mind. And for me, it's a blessing to be doing what I'm doing and providing the value to community that I'm doing, right? For me, it's the most beautiful emails when I got an email from a customer saying they love the products. That's just, that is the most beautiful thing. Just doing this every day, it's a blessing. So I invite everyone that wants to start a company to reach out to me, ask anything they need, because I did the same. And I invite them themselves to enjoy every day by creating value to the communities.
I love that. That's a very kind offer.
No worries.
Hopefully you don't get 4 bajillion emails.
Yeah, I really do. I'm looking at my inbox here. There's like 500 emails to read.
And you've just invited more.
It's okay. I will take a little bit extra hours to reply to them.
That's so kind of you. And now for people listening who want to support 8000 Kicks, it sounds like you've got such a strong supporter base. So anyone who wants to jump on board and join in and support the 8000 Kicks support team, or learn more about 8000 Kicks, where's the best place to go? Aside from our brand rating, of course.
They can go to 8000kicks.com. I also invite them to text us on Instagram. We have a chatbot there, but I personally reply those messages a lot myself too, even on the comment section. A lot of times I'm the one replying on the comments. Sometimes my colleagues too, but I'm very active on Instagram and social media. So 8000kicks.com on Instagram, 8000kicks on Instagram, 8000kicks.com on our website. Or just reach out to me, which is Bernardo at 8000kicks.com.
And I'll put those key links down there in the show notes as well, in the description, so people can access you guys easily. And is there anything else? Is there anything we haven't covered that you would like to share with people listening?
I think that's everything.
That's everything. Well, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your inspiring journey and your wisdom. We're now going to wrap up this main part of the episode and shift to a few more questions for Bernardo, which will form part of our members-only content. So if you're interested, anyone listening is interested in becoming a member of Sustainable Jungle and wants to support the work that we do, stay tuned. We will let you know how to do that really soon, or you could register your interest in the link in the episode description.